Hey everybody, Missy Deluxe here. Just coming at you with a tutorial brought to you by Mr. Tronic from the channel. This is going to be an elevator tutorial. For those of you who may or may not have seen my streams, we have built elevators, and they consist of wooden hatches, and I usually use flagstone blocks, hay bales, and wood plates. So what I'm going to do for this, guys, I'm going to try and see if I can speed up the video. I've never actually done this before, but I have turned the game sounds down, and we are going to dig our way to bedrock. So I'm going to kind of talk through this as we go, but basically what you want to do is try and do a 9x9 if possible. You can dig down starting from the top, one kind of column all the way down to the bedrock. Problem with that method, though, is that you can dig your way back up to kind of place blocks and stuff, but it can get a little bit difficult. So if you have yourself a little bit of an open area, then it'll probably be a bit easier for you. But all I can suggest is start with an area like this. Now, I have turned block durability on and do consider I'm in creative, kind of situation, and you're not going to have, an auger and other, means like that. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to go straight down to bedrock. I have turned the block durability down for video purposes so we can, kind of get through this quicker. But again, this is not easy, especially with a stone axe. Very tedious. So it can take a little while to get one of these built. I do not suggest doing this on your day one. You might want to wait until you can dig down to bedrock, of course. But again, it takes a long time, and you want to make sure that you have at least your skills up a little bit before you attempt to do it. And again, that's only because your skills are probably going to be pretty low to be able to do this. But you want to get down to bedrock as fast as possible. So again, I'm on God mode and things like that, so it's going to be a lot faster, and I really don't want to speed up a lot of it. So I'm going to try to keep this video around the hour mark. But again, just do what you can as you go. The one thing I can recommend too as well, once you kind of get this dug out, again, it will take a while, especially if you're using stone tools. And it's not easy, that's for sure. But with a little bit of work and time, you can definitely do it. Also, too, another option you have as well, if you're doing this in your first 7 days, it's perfectly okay, because you can just make sure you collect enough material so that you can make your, stone axes and things like that as you go. And maybe in your first 7 days would be actually better, because the higher you go in days, the more zombies you're going to have around being a pain in the butt. But again, just use your own discretion when you're doing this. But it's like I said, it can seem like very tedious work, but it's well worth it in the long run. And again, I recommend the 3x3, because to get the elevator to make sure that it's, everything's working smoothly, you want to make sure that it's encased in blocks and things like that as you go. A lot of people have seen these elevators, and they're like, wow, that is so cool. How do I do one of those? So this will help you guys, know how I do it myself. And again, this can take several hours when you're doing it alone. If you can do it with a friend, and that friend can help you dig, it's going to make this process a lot faster. So we're going to try and get through this as painlessly as possible. But again, I was asked if I could make a tutorial video, and I thought, yeah, you know what? I haven't done any. And so if you guys are new, just checking out the video, you haven't been to the channel yet, thank you so much for stopping in, and make sure you hit the subscribe and the like, because it always helps all of us so much. And thank you so much to Tronic, who asked me to make the video. And guys, if there's anything you ever see in any of my streams or videos that you'd like tutorials on, please let me know, guys, because I don't really know. There's been so many tutorials that have been done out there, and I don't want people to go, oh, just another tutorial video. Because there's so many out there. And I don't want someone to think that, I'm trying to copy someone or, step on someone's toes about their video or, things like that. So definitely let me know, guys. Leave a comment below and let me know if there's anything you want to see. And I apologize. I'm kind of trying to get used to talking to myself because, of course, in these tutorial videos, there's nobody here kind of watching you and talking to you as you progress. So it probably could have been something I did on stream, but, I decided I have to make more tutorial videos and, things like that for the peeps. Because I know everyone always has questions. So again, just leave me some comments below, show some support. And know that all of your support is well accepted and well loved for sure. And well respected. So yeah, digging to bedrock, very hard work. But it will pay off, you'll see. Oops. Try and get through these layers. Ooh, it's alright. I'm not very good at these God mode controls, so please bear with me. One thing you can do is, as you can see, I made a booba there, but keep, let's see here. I'm just going to type it in, but keep some destroyed stone as you go on you. Oops. As you go on your person, just so when you make holes like that, you can just kind of fill them in. But again, this is not, you can't do this, of course, when you're not using cheat mode, of course. But if you can stand in this corner here, you can do 3 blocks at once. And again, I recommend doing the layout like I did up top and kind of situate yourself in a corner and try and do the whole flat area all the way down as you go, rather than having to backtrack back up. Do keep ladders on you in case you need to get back up. Hay bales, of course, are important for the later process so you don't fall. Why is that taking so long to break? Oh, it's not. Never mind. Just looks that way. So, it's not going to be too much longer, guys. Sorry, just bear with me. I just want to make sure you guys see the whole process from the beginning, rather than skip through and think you missed something. And this way you can kind of see how I'm doing it, but again, it's a little different when you're in God mode, but still, process is basically the same. You just do one layer at a time on the way down, because you don't want to do... Did I mess something up there? I think I did. No, I guess I didn't. Yeah, so do take your time. Like I said, it's a process that can take a while. And, but have patience. And I'm only doing this as fast as I am because, of course, I'm using cheat mode. But it's a must in a tutorial, right? Excuse my graphics too, because you can get a little confusing when I'm playing with lesser graphics. The rocks look kind of weird. But I'm very happy to do this because I have had, quite a few people ask how it's done and how it's made. So, yeah, I don't mind at all. One other thing you can do as you're going down, again, like I said, place ladders and things like that, just to kind of help you out until you get to the bottom. Because if you mess up somewhere and you need to get back up, you have that, ability to do that. We are almost down, I think. As my mining tools gets up higher too, this will go a little faster. Now usually what I do is I just take this auger and throw it away, and I bring in a new one. And in case anybody doesn't know, if you're looking for a 600 item, just a little tidbit, when you type in here, looking for a particular piece. As you can see, the quality is random. Sorry about that. The quality of the auger is random, so you need to, excuse me, you need to click on this little shopping cart, or you can click on the bag, but it's going to randomize that auger, as you can see, and the quality is going to keep changing. Now, if you want an actual 600 this way, you have to give it to yourself. So the name is actually auger. So when you type something in here, block fell off the world. Okay. You'll type give self space, and then you'll type auger space 600. And it works kind of that way with any piece of gear or other things. You got to spell the actual word. Some of them may work, some of them may not. But this is just so that you know how to give yourself a 600 of something if you actually want to. That's just something that you can do. I had to figure out a lot of these commands by myself because creative's kind of weird. And I've never actually used it a lot. Well, recently I have because I have a server, right? And sometimes things happen. All right, so now we are here. Whoops. Now we are here at Bedrock. I'm going to take off this God mode for a moment. All right, so now what I usually do here is I start on one side. Now you want to make sure that your blocks are square. That's why I started in an actual POI, and I dug out the 3x3, because when you place blocks sometimes you won't get it in a corner like this. You might actually dig if you go out just the middle of nowhere and you kind of have no POI to base your structure on, or no squares to base your structure on. The problem is that you may end up going in on a diagonal, and then when you try and place a block down here, it will be more of on an angle spot, and then it won't work for you. So just kind of a self note to make sure wherever you do this, you lay out, if there's no POI, make sure you lay out frames, wood frames, in a square of 5x5, so you have that 3x3 center to kind of use as your whatever you want to call it. Okay, so what you want to do now is you want to make sure you place these all the way up on either side. Now this is just going to be a basic. Now you can also change this and also put the blocks in behind. So as you're going, you can place these in behind here as well. And this would just make it more of a solidified wall all the way down. But you do not have to do that if you're using a flat wall like this all the way down. That's why I was talking about the idea of filling in the holes on the way down in case you know, just structurally and, you know, stuff like that. So what I usually do is if I'm going to build, I'll put my elevator on one side and I'll put the drop hole on the other sometimes. Or sometimes I put the drop hole right beside it. But just be warned, you do have to put in, I would recommend when you get to bedrock putting in this floor. And the only reason I recommend that is so that if you do have a land claim block, you can place it in the middle. Because when you're down at bedrock, you cannot dig anymore. So it's best off to always put a floor in. Okay, so basically what you want to do now is pillar your way back up. And now for this part, I do suggest using ladders on the other side as well as you're going. So if you actually do it this way, this can be your drop hole here. So you can place these blocks as high as you can. And I'll do this way out of creative so you can see. You basically, and I'll finish it off afterwards with creative. Oops. See, now that can happen too. So just make sure that you're careful where you place these, because that's sand. So it's not going to support a whole lot. See, I did it again. All right, so I'm going to try and get this. Try and get it on the block above it. Okay, so now what you want to do is you can take ladders, and I'll put them here, and I'll just show you. You can actually put these up like this, okay, and just climb up here, and then you can place your ladders, or sorry, your hatches at the same time. So you want to start, you leave one block at the bottom. So that's your bottom blocks. You want to go up one. Now make sure when you place these elevators, or sorry, these hatches, they are, oh, yeah, we got to fix that one. Hang on. This very first hatch, make sure you rotate it so the hatch is at the back and the handle's at the front like that. And then these have to go all the way up on every single block. You cannot miss one because otherwise your elevator will not work. And again, you just place some more blocks like this. Okay. And you do this process. Oops. Don't want that. Gotta break that block out. You want to place these like this all the way up as you go. Again, very tedious work, but it will pay off in the end. So it definitely works really well this way, and that way you don't have any chance of falling. Just watch where you're going as you're going up. And again, just placing these all the way up as you go. And I did it again. You got to try and make sure you place it above the other block because it's sand, like I said, and there's not much support here. So each block has to be placed. Oh, we'll just stick that in there. And it does not want to go in there. So like that all the way up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, ooh, shoot. That happened. Okay, so that's another thing, guys. This block right here has to be empty when you put down your hay bale. So we're going to do that now so we don't break anything again. We're going to put that in there. And I do recommend breaking out this one and placing a hay bale here as well. This is so that if you do fall down from this shaft and you do happen to go forward a little bit, you're not going to hit this block that's at my feet right here when you fall down. So I am going to use fly mode again. So just make sure, and do not, whatever you do, if you want these ladders all the way down and leave them there, you can hit the space bar on a ladder to fall. So you can leave these blocks in there. Do make sure you do have that last block clear, because right now, as you can see, I can put a ladder right there. But if that ladder is attached to this hay bale, you will break your leg when you fall every time because it takes up a block space. So do not have that last rung in there. If you want the ladder all the way up to feel safe and, you know, climb back out if you want to, if you don't like the elevators or, you know, something like that, you can continue this all the way up if you like. But my suggestion, you don't really need the ladders at this low level. You can just place this all the way up. So we're going to do this, try and do this really quick. Oops. Try and get this built fast as possible. So you don't have to sit and watch me do too much. But again, I just kind of want to do this so you can see all of it being done. And this drop hole as well, because it's on this side, you can actually go ahead and fill in this wall if you want to. I'm not doing it just for this purpose, but you can fill in this spot as well as you go, so that you have a little bit more solidified. But again, completely your choice. You can, this is also, you know, completely interchangeable. I mean, you could change the design of this. You could do it, you could do two holes that are, say, you know, like, you know, so many wide and so many deep, and you know, place your blocks at different spots. You can have different drop holes, you know, things like that. You can do it. It's basically any way you want. You can design it how you want, but this is just a general idea. And again, I'm using flagstone because in the beginning, flagstone's pretty easy to get. It's just cobble and clay. Flagstone is very easy to make. I can show you that in a moment. If you look in here, there's two processes to doing that. So you want to gather the cobblestone or sorry, the stone and the clay. And then what you want to make is these, which are called cobblestone rocks. It's only one clay and one stone, so you can gather a couple thousand stone, a couple thousand clay, and you've got yourself 2,000 cobblestone rocks. Very, very fast to make. Then what you type in is flagstone. Oops. And what you'll want to make is these flagstone blocks. They only take 4 per block. So if you make 2,000, that's what? 500 blocks? So you can make a lot of blocks really fast. That being said, though, don't turn it all into these blocks, because you can also use those cobblestone rocks afterwards to upgrade this flagstone up to cobblestone. So that's just, this is very easy at the beginning to collect. Because if you're digging to bedrock, you're going to have lots of stone. So you only need a couple thousand clay to kind of get yourself started. And again, you can make 500 blocks. Now, depending on where you are at elevation, bedrock is always going to be at minus 57. So if you're at a high elevation, say plus 20 in the air on a mountain or something, it's going to take you a really long time to dig down to that bedrock. But a bedrock base is extremely good for people who either A, don't like kind of dealing with zombies, or if you're going to use a lot of forges. I know some people like me, when you get later on in the days of 7 days, it can be a real pain when you got 20 forges on the go, kind of cooking and baking for you, and it can be very overwhelming sometimes when you've got a lot of screamers, and it actually becomes tedious more or less, because you're always fighting hordes off consistently and trying to build your base, and you're like, oh man, I got all this stuff bothering me. So if that's the case, and you're one of those types of people that just kind of like chilling and building, my suggestion is definitely go with a bedrock base for your forges and other stuff like that, because when you're this far down, you will not get screamers coming to your forges at all. Forges do generate a heat map, but when you're down at bedrock, the zombies do not track that. So from our experience, as far as I know, if I'm wrong, somebody can correct me, but we've been doing these bedrock bases for a while now, and definitely for cooking and forging purposes, they will not detect you down here. So you can actually focus on your upper level building and not have to worry about that. Okay, guys, so one thing to consider here now, I'm going to show you. You want to make sure, oops, which one's my drop hole? Let me make sure here. Okay, that would be that one. And make sure that hole is empty there. So it's this left one here. Alright, so the rest of the holes we want to block off. Okay, so right at the very top here, you want to make sure, was it that one? I think it was. It can get confusing. Yeah, okay. It's hard to see the hay bales, but alright, so this one has to be open. Where's our... Okay, so let's put the rest of these hatches in now. And then I'll show you what to do upstairs. I probably could have put these in as I went, but again, you want to make sure that one's on every single floor. So it doesn't matter which way these face, by the way, guys. The bottom one is the only one that matters, because you got to step into it. So you build these all the way up, and then you can also do a test afterwards. But again, make sure you have those hay bales in case you fall off your ladder, because you want to make sure you build these ladders all the way up as you're going and placing these in on every single block. Again, this could all be temporary. You could change the location of it. You could even cheat and build it yourself, whichever way you want to do it. But again, this is something that we've been doing for a while now, and I really love the elevator system, because it's so much quicker to build. And the reason I'm doing this to bedrock, guys, is I could have shown you, an elevator system really easily, just on 10 blocks, and it would have been simple to show you. But the reason I'm doing a bedrock build is because it's been requested as well by Tronic to show how I build my rooms at bedrock. So this one is going to be this elevator system. It's going to be a little bit extensive, just so that he, as well as us, can get kind of a general idea on exactly how this is built. And all right, so when you get up to this block, guys, you'll also want to test this. Now, if you watch what I do here, when I put this here, you're going to see this is going to collapse. Now, that is because they changed the way these work. These need a block on one side to support it. So you can put the block here and put your hatch here and it will stay. Or you can put the block here or put it here. But just remember, wherever you put that block is where the support is. You don't want to break that out. Usually what I do is I do this, so that when I come up, I know that I'm not, falling off. I'm not, kind of doing anything like that. Now, this being that the drop system's on the opposite side, this works so that we can put a block in between here, and there's our fall hole. So again, this is your trap door. This will not stay here. I'll even show you again. This will not stay in this block. See, I can't even put it there. It won't let me. So what I would suggest is you put your ladders. Now, these ladders, definitely put these here on the wall, and do at least 4, I recommend, like that. And that is so that you can go climb down a little bit, and then you can close your hatch from the top. Now, that will stay now because of that ladder. So again, let's go to God mode and I'll show you here. Okay, so I'm just going to move some of this stuff over to here. Some of this other little stuff that we don't need. All right, so now the way this is designed now is when you open this, you can step in here, close this hatch, and then hit the space bar. And this is going to allow you to fall all the way down. And that's it, and you bounce, and that's hay. So here now, you click this, and you step inside. Now we don't have, actually, you know what, I forgot. Okay, so wood plate. Now, I'm going to show you guys both ways of doing this. If you do not put a wood plate here, and you step in here, when I close this, you're going to see it's not going to move. See? I'm stuck here. Oh, no. No. If you jump, it'll go up by itself. So, just a suggestion, if you don't want to have to jump each time, come in here again, close this behind you because of zombies, which I don't have any zombies on. I turned them off. But my suggestion is to put this here. This creates a stepstone almost like you're in the block. So now when I step in here and I do this, I don't have to move. I just close this and up it goes. Now again, if you have solid walls all the way around like that, you'll only get stuck on the odd occasion. So if you make this in this spot here, and say sometimes if you're too close to the back wall, like if you get really, really close, like as far as you can, and press this, sometimes it's probably not going to do it. It doesn't want to do it. Okay, so sometimes you will get stuck. If that happens, you ever get stuck in the middle of the elevators, don't open them, because then you're going to be like, oh, which one did I open? Which one did I close? And you could confuse yourself and end up, if you get stuck and your character starts bouncing, just move yourself with your WASD keys just by a little bit to kind of try and get yourself centered into that little hatch. After that, you'll have no issues. So anyway, guys, that's just a basics on the way to build this little elevator. And I just killed myself. I forgot to take those ladders out. So again, see the dangers of elevators. Now I'm on the Navezgane map, so look at that. You guys got to see a death. So I tell you guys, it's crazy. But again, so be careful. Those ladders I should have taken out. I didn't take them out, and that's what happened. So anyway, guys, we are going to end the video here. That is the makings. I'm going to make my way back over there, guys, and pick up my stuff. So in between videos, the next video is going to be an extension to this one's going to be a part 2 of the building of the rooms downstairs. That's going to be a little bit longer, and you guys will get to watch me, kind of build rooms, and I'll show you guys how I do everything, the kind of system that I use. But so again, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial video. Take care, guys.